Hi, I'm Dennis Holman. I'm a resident and a voter in the 5th Congressional District. And today I'd like to introduce you to Ben Schwanke, who is the GOP endorsed candidate for the Minnesota legislature. He's running in a special election in Minneapolis, Senate District 59. Now that seat has been held for the past 30 years by Larry Poggemiller, who was recently appointed by Governor Mark Dayton to be director of the Office of Higher Education. Now the special election coming up will be held on January 10th of 2012. And his DFL candidate is Kerry Dietzig. Ben, congratulations on winning the GOP endorsement. And thank you for running, and thank you for coming in today to talk to us and share yourself with the voters.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Ben, how do you feel about running in this election?
You know, I'm really excited to be able to run in this election. Special elections only happen every so often, and so it's great to be able to have the seat open up so that we're able to try and get the fresh new ideas in there.
What was it that caused you to consider even running for the Minnesota Senate?
You know, one of the main things that I saw at the time, I'm a student actually at Augsburg College right now, and kind of seeing the economic outlook for coming out of school, it's not very great right now. And seeing how, whether it's myself coming out of school, that there's not much opportunity, or also seeing the high unemployment numbers, it's just something that I felt was important to me, that I get involved and make sure that we start reversing course so that there is opportunity for everybody to have a job.
Okay, Ben, I'm sure the voters would appreciate knowing a little bit about you. Now, you also already said that you're a student, but give us a little bit of your background. What's your major and so on?
Yeah, I actually grew up in Lester Prairie, Minnesota, cool. Just a little bit west of here, and moved to Minneapolis when I decided to go to Augsburg College. Augsburg I felt had a great opportunity for me, and I'm just finishing up my degree to become a high school math teacher. And when I moved to Minneapolis, I just saw how great it was and was thrilled to be able to live here.
Ben, let's get into some issues.
All right.
Ben, considering the current economic disparities that exist in Minneapolis, and also the fact that Kerry Dietzig already works in Hennepin County, how would you represent the diverse populations that exist in Minneapolis?
Yeah, well, as you said, Kerry Dietzig has worked at the county for a little while now. And obviously the programs that the county has set up has not effectively helped our diverse population in Minneapolis. And Minneapolis actually has one of the highest in the nation economic gaps for the diverse populations. And so my role as the state legislature, especially with my party being in the majority, would be able to more effectively get legislation passed that would be able to help these people and be able to get them the jobs that they need.
Thank you, Ben. What do you see as the difference between you and Kerry Dietzig?
Well, I think there's a few differences between myself and Kerry. The first one is I wasn't part of the process that got us into the mess that we're in right now. I'm also not campaigning on my father's name. Kerry's father, Walt Dietzig, has been a Minneapolis stalwart for quite a while now, and what we call that is legacy politics. And I'm not a fan of legacy politics because it makes one family the voice of what all of Minneapolis is. And I think that we need to return the voice back to the people and make sure that the people are being the ones that are represented. Along with, once again, my party is in the majority, and so I will be able to better effectively represent Minneapolis in getting their ideas at least heard, maybe not everything passed, but their voice will be at the table, and they'll be able to be heard, and their issues will be able to be heard at the legislature.
And why, Ben, do you feel that this particular election is so important to the people in the northeast side of Minneapolis?
You know, this is very important to the northeast side of Minneapolis because of the economic times that we are in right now. We've had Senator Poggemiller in there for 30 years, and now we need real ideas and real change into that office. If we choose to stick with the same side, it's going to be those same ideas represented once again. And we need to make sure that we have the fresh ideas for these times that are coming in, and making sure that the mom and pop shops that are open there are able to continue to open and then also continue to grow, to make sure that they're thriving in this opportunity or having the opportunity to thrive in this economy, and making sure that then they're even in turn hiring more people and growing out of just the regular mom and pop shops and becoming a big business that they could be able to be.
Ben, what do you see as the most pressing issues for Minneapolis residents right now?
Besides kind of the limiting government aspect, there's also the jobs and economic opportunity that's happening right now. We need to make sure that businesses don't continue to leave Minneapolis. Minneapolis used to be a place where businesses came to thrive and many entrepreneurs came from. We need to make sure that businesses like 3M are still here and wanting to grow, and making sure that more businesses like them come in, and the next great idea, the next iPhone, the next advance in research comes from Minneapolis and isn't coming from down in Texas or some other place. We need to make sure that it's here. Along with effective educational programs, we need to make sure that our students are being able to learn what the life skills that they need to be able to succeed in life, and that they're not just stuck here learning how to take a test, and instead they come out of school with the skills ready to hit the job force and make a great life for what they want to do.
Great. I can see that you've given a lot of thought about keeping the economy, the local economy, strong. Well, what do you feel you might be able to do in the legislature to help promote the strength of the economic climate in this city?
You know, one thing that the legislator can really do is they can't really create jobs. That comes from the entrepreneurs from Minneapolis and just all over Minnesota. What the legislator can do, though, however, is create a business-friendly environment. You know, streamlining agencies so that we don't have to go through 3 different agencies in order to get your business started. Reducing some of the unnecessary regulations that once again prohibit businesses from getting started, and then also being able to expand and grow. It's just making sure that we're creating a climate so that business wants to come here and that they are able to grow, and make sure that they're hiring everybody that they want to hire.
Let's turn for a minute to education. Since you are currently a student, what would you like to see done, and what could you do to help make education more effective in Minnesota?
Well, especially on higher education with both the University of Minnesota and Augsburg College in my district, I would like to see a tuition cap. So once somebody enters college, that's the tuition that they're paying for that 4 years or however long they're in college. That way it gives students predictability on if they can even afford this college. Right now, student loans is a big problem with our society right now, and making sure that the students have that predictability going into school, that they know that if they can afford that college or if they should choose a different college instead. Regarding kind of the K-12 issue, though, is making sure that the money that we are spending is going to effective educational programs. Right now, from my experiences in the classroom, a lot of that money is not reaching our students. Minneapolis itself spends around $13,000 per pupil. But when I go into the classroom, I don't see $13,000 worth of supplies for the students. And making sure that what the students are learning is life skills, so that the teachers have the opportunity and the freedom to be able to teach them not to how to take a standardized test, but instead learn the life skills that will be able to not only make them succeed in a workforce, but also to help them raise a family and kind of do what their other dreams might be.
Okay, running an election, particularly a special election, has got to be a lot of work. what have you had? How long have you had to prepare for this?
Well, the election opened up on October 31st, and we filed on November 2nd, a full 2.5 days later. And we were able to kind of make some big strides, though, very quickly. We were able to sit down. We put in numerous hours to put out a very strong strategy on how to win this election. But time is really of the essence in a special election. So getting different volunteers and making sure that we're able to continue this strategy is very important right now.
Well, good. Ben, you present yourself very well as a candidate, and I can see people out there wondering, gee, how can I help this guy succeed? How can I be involved to get him elected? And how can they do that, Ben?
We have a few different ways that people can get involved. If you go to our website, you'll be able to see our volunteer sign-up sheet where we have different door knocking opportunities, different lit dropping opportunities, along with a phone bank that we have set up. So if walking's kind of hard on you and stuff like that, you can come in and do phone calling for us and help us out in that different way, or just maybe any other ways that you can think of to help volunteer. If time is not exactly on your side right now, we definitely appreciate any donations that would be able to come to this campaign. We're making sure that every single dollar that comes in is being effectively spent to make sure that we're maximizing everything that we do in this campaign.
Good. Ben, I want to thank you very much, not only for running, but for coming in today and sharing with us some of your thoughts and your passion to help make things better in Minnesota, and particularly for the residents in Minneapolis. And I want to remind everybody out there to get out and vote on January 10th in Minneapolis. And if you don't live in Minneapolis, tell your friends that live there to check out Ben at voteschwanke.com. You can also follow his campaign on Facebook at Ben Schwanke for Senate, and even on Twitter at Vote Schwanke. Thank you, Ben, and best of luck to you.
Yep, thank you.
Again, I'm Dennis Holman. Thank you for joining us today. Make your voice heard and vote on January 10th. Get out and rock the vote.